During this segment, please make sure that the employee understands that load securement is an Electrocom company policy. It's a state law, and it's also a federal DOT regulation, so it's extremely critical and important, not only for the regulatory side and the policy side, but it's also important, obviously, for the safety side. But make sure that they understand that those are state regulations, DOT regulations, and company policy, how to properly secure cargo. So the last segment we're going to talk about is extremely important, and it's important to reiterate to them of safety and why load securement is so important for that people can be injured and killed because of failure to properly secure a load. Property can be damaged, equipment loss off the trailer, a lot of bad things that can happen. So I want to take some time here with them and kind of slow things down and just talk a little bit about load securement. Basically, we use a couple of different types of securement devices here at Electrocom. We use the ratchet strap. Usually it's the 2.5 inch like what I've got right here. And then the second type of securement we use when applicable, like when we're transporting a piece of heavy machinery, that would be a piece of machinery that's over 10,000 pounds. We use chain. We use grade 70 3/8 inch chain at Electrocom. That's the only type of chain that we use. And then we also use a ratchet type boomer. We don't use pull down boomers. Those are outlawed here, so it would be a good time to mention that to them. But there's basically those two different types of securement devices that we use. A couple things that those devices have in common. Number one is we should take those out of service if they're found to be defective or have defects. So spend a little time with each new employee and talk to them a little bit about what a defect might look like on a load securement device. For example, on the straps, does the ratchet work properly? That's the first question we need to ask. What kind of condition is the strap in? Are there rips or tears on the strap? If they find a load securement device that is defective, it should immediately be taken out of service, and they should replace that with a new load securement device. They can obtain that through their foreman. With chain, you're talking a little bit more about, do the links appear to be stretched? Are they cracked? Are they broken? Are the components on the chain and on the hooks, are they proper? Is everything safe on the chain? Does it have any visual defects that should alarm us? Again, if they find something on a chain that alarms them that chain should not be used as a securement device, it should be taken out of service. They should address that with their foreman, get a new load securement device to use before they transport anything. The other part of the chain equation is the boomer. And these are, again, ratchet boomers, because pull-down boomers are outlawed by Electrocom. We don't use those. But when they're talking about the boomer, they need to make sure that, there's no damages, no breaks, no cracks, nothing wrong, that the boomer appears to be in safe operation. So what we will want you to do, and I'm not going to do it for you all because I know you already know how to do it. What we're going to do is let each employee see how these operate to actually secure something down to a trailer. Like we've got this pipe here, and to see what they should be looking at, to make sure they know how to feed a ratchet, to make sure they know how to utilize a ratchet strap, how it works, to make sure that they know what to do with this excess. Now, this is a lot of excess on this strap here. Ideally, you'd want a little shorter strap for this job we're doing, but make sure that they understand how to secure this excess, whether that's tying it back off across the other side, or whether that's folding it over itself like this, and then using electrical tape or duct tape to actually tape it to itself, like I'm showing you right there with that. But make sure that they know how to properly take care of that excess when they're talking about using a ratchet strap. Again, when they're using the ratchet, you're going to want to strap something down. It doesn't have to be a piece of heavy equipment. Just use something to show them this is how it works. This is how we use the boomer. This is what the chain looks like when it's properly secured. And again, you're also going to talk to them about checking load securement before they transport, but also checking load securement during transport. If they're taking that a very far distance, then they're going to need to periodically check that. Basically, the rule of thumb is DOT regulation requires them to check it when they start. It requires them to check it within the first 50 miles again. And then when one of three things happen, they have to check it again. Either 3 hours, 150 miles of driving, or a change of duty status. When that happens, they have to check the load again. They have to make sure it hasn't shifted. They may have to check their securement devices. Let them know that in the truck binders, there is a load securement 2 reference sheets in there that tells them how many straps they need to use, how many chains they need to use, what they need to do to transport heavy equipment. All of those things are in that truck binder to teach them and to guide them and to help them. They don't have to commit it to memory. They can simply open the binder that's in the truck, and it's going to explain to them how many load securement devices they should use based on length and weight and the different things that they're transporting. So all of that is available to them. Also, again, please stress to them the importance of load securement. It's extremely important that they understand how to secure something. If they get out there in the field and they come across a situation and they don't know how to secure a specific thing, like it's a piece of heavy machinery, they should seek out an experienced crew member to show them how to secure that and to give them oversight on securing that piece of heavy machinery or that specific piece of equipment or cargo. We want to make sure that they don't go out there and try to just learn for themselves, that if they have questions and they don't know how to do it, that they need to ask someone. They need to get with the foreman. They need to get with an experienced crew member that knows how to secure that particular article. And again, they can refer to the truck binder that has all that information. My phone number is also on the truck binder. They can call DOT Compliance at Electrocom, and we will walk them through exactly how to secure a load. They will also get additional training as part of this NEO process. They will be watching a PowerPoint, and they will learn some about load securement there. So they have a lot of different avenues, a lot of different resources to learn load securement, but we want to tell them how important it is. We want to teach them the proper devices, and we want to make them demonstrate to us that they know how to use these securement devices. They know how to feed a strap into a ratchet. They know how to use a boomer. They know how to use it with the chains, that they understand it. They know how to check for defects. They know how to check to make sure that that device is tight, that it's properly holding what it's supposed to hold on. So we want to be sure they cover all that. So again, take your time, slow down, let them demonstrate it, let them ask questions. And again, refer them to those additional resources that they're going to have out there in the event that they have any questions. The other thing, in closing, we're not just talking about large pieces of cargo. We want to make sure that they understand that very small articles that fly off of a truck at a high speed can become like rockets, all right? So they need to be sure that they are securing, if this was laying on the bed of a truck, you know, that they understand of how much damage that could do should that become dislodged during transit. They need to be sure they understand to take that, to put it in a secure bin somewhere, to store it, to make sure it's not going to hurt anything. Buckets, coolers, trash, tools, components, all those things can be dangerous if they're not properly secured. One part of this exercise we're going to have you guys do as you're teaching is to give them a short break away from you. We're going to have you set up a truck and a trailer with some load securement violations. You can make one of these straps loose. You can lay something out on the bed of the truck like a boomer. You can just have some unsecured articles around, trash, coolers, buckets, whatever. And then when they come back from their break, you're going to have them walk around the truck and point out the things that they see that they think could be a hazard. That way we're training them not only just theoretically and teaching them and telling them, we're also letting their eyes get on some stuff that's some problems and make sure that they can recognize those things, that they understand that. So that's a part of this module on load securement that we're also going to want you to cover. So once again, in closing, thank you all so much for being willing to help out the new employees on the DOT practical application. It's extremely important. It's important for their safety. It's important for everyone's safety. It's important for Electrocom, and we want to make sure that we walk through this slowly. Please don't rubber stamp it. Please don't rush through it as something that you have to do. Please take your time, take it seriously, and show these folks how to be safe. And if you have any questions about the process, any questions at all, either before or during or after you have some feedback, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, give me a call, and we'll walk through that. And once again, thank you all so much for taking your time and your expertise in helping these folks become safer and better. Thank you.